We finished proximity voice chat.
Ben, come back, come back, come back, come back. No, come over here.
I'm right here.
Ben. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Holy, can you hear me? Ben. We're
What?
our shit's gonna blow now.
It was at this point I realized the proximity voice chat radius was too small.
How did you make me die?
But I made you
Stop.
die?
Yeah.
I don't know how I did that. Hold on, let me try again. I'm gonna gouge your fucking eyes out. Ben, come back here. No,
Look.
come back. Come back.
Cameron, when you were passing by me, all I heard was, "I'm gonna gouge your fucking eyes out," and it was like faded. It was
Build a med
hilarious.
bay. I can't move. I'm out of jetpack. Fly over to me.
Haha.
No!
Haha.
Dude.
Towards me.
Come over
Go
here,
towards
come
me.
over. I can't. I don't have any
No, come
fuel.
towards me.
No, I can't.
Oh no, that sucks. Oh, that really sucks.
Okay, I'll be with the last bit of fuel that I have.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, to be honest, I can't believe this system works. I'm going to explain how it works in a second. Right now, it's only mono. It's not stereo. It's not directional. It doesn't have the Doppler effect. I'm going to add that later. It should be pretty easy. The way I did stuff now to speed up the development process and get this feature over with so I can work on other shit that's more important. So every player has these audio packets, right? Like a queue of like 3 audio packets, and like this is what they said in the last, like, I don't know, like 20 or 30 milliseconds. What I do is every time, like, so first, every time the server goes, okay, it's time to send out the state to all the players, I go, how much time has passed? I use that information to know how many of these like 10 millisecond packets I need to pull off from all of their queues. As I pull these packets off, I decode the audio this is like a compressed, like, it's a compressed thing. It's not like the waveform data. It's much smaller. It's like 130 bytes instead of like thousands. I convert each of these into their constituent waveforms, right? And now it's time to mix down the audio for each player. This only happens if both of them are alive, by the way. We're professionals. We don't make mistakes. We're professionals. So let's do this from the perspective of player 1, right? For player 1, they ignore their own audio, but they take in the audio from player 2 and player 3. So the goal here is to reconstruct like a queue of like output packets, and that's what we flush out and send over the network. We've got to fill that box right there. So we ignore our own audio. And then to make this first 10 millisecond audio packet, we pull in this waveform and this waveform, and we straight up just add the numbers together. I learned this was true from Handmade Hero. Guys goated, as the Zoomers say. I am a Zoomer. I'm one of you. Purchase my game. You're my target audience. But yeah, straight up just add the numbers together. And then what I do is to make it so that like when player 3 and player 2, like when they're far away, it gets quieter, I multiply each value in this like waveform by an equation that like takes their distance and makes it so when they're all the way far away, it's 0. And then when they're near you, it's 1. Yeah, so I just add that together in a waveform, compress it, and then I just do that for these as well, right? Bang, 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 bang. Most of like engineering and like computer science work is more about getting the plumbing set up than like cool algorithms, right? This just took so much like plumbing and like finagling with all the shit. Like that's why it took 3 days, not because that this is complicated. It's just like, where does all this data go? And like, how is the timing not screwed up? And are there like memory issues? Like, I don't know. Part of me does wish I used like Unity to make this game. Either that or like Rust, because Rust has like memory safety stuff. But also in Rust, a lot of the stuff I'm doing would be just really awful. So I'm really not sure. But the Unity argument is a solid one. Problem with using Unity for this game is that I'm stuck with like the physics engine they have. Binding to an external would be really tricky. And then the server would also be really, really annoying to host. This server is one file and it's like 500 kilobytes, and you just host it. All statically compiled. You just run it, and then you get your own new world at your fingertips. You know, no mucking around with like running Unity and Wine or something, or like, I don't even know. The performance like ceiling is also much, much higher because I can do like SIMD operations and shit, like stuff you would never think to do on Unity. Yeah, but the next step after this is to add the Doppler effect and like a stereo, right? Stereo processing. It actually should only take a few hours under my estimation because all this plumbing is done, right? All that I would do to make it so I have stereo audio is instead of adding these together, just like one by one by one, I would have the mini audio library I'm using. It comes with like an effects chain and like stereo audio processing. I would just have that mix the buffers. You know, it outputs raw PCM, like metal vibrating floating point values, puts it into the packet, Opus puts it into the packet, and then we're done. But yeah, like slotting that in there should be simple. I'm gonna be like the Shurima guy from League of Legends with this game. Your emperor has returned. That's me. I mean, one thing to keep track of is like, I've been working on this project for like a year, right? So it doesn't make sense for me to do work now that would cause me to have to do more work later. So all the work I do has to like build on each other and like be stable and work well. We're gonna be showing off some community-made ships. I'm really excited about some of these ships. You know, it's kind of bananas. Yeah, I'm excited for the stereo audio processing. Here we've got Big Booty Battery by Alpinaris. It's a revolution in engineering. This beautiful ship by Twig has so many cockpits. Here we've got a maneuverable fighter ship by Greg. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And join the Discord to play the game for free. Join it now.